morning, good evening, good afternoon, don't know, could be any time to everyone on YouTube. This is going to be my Situational Awareness Advanced Tactics Guide. The previous time I did it, I ended up actually having a bit of a mare game and it ended up being turned into another video, so we're actually going to do a proper one this time. We're still in the E5, we're going to be on Hidden Village. Again, it's going to be a live game, so I'm going to try and figure out what's going on in the game and try and explain it as best as possible. Again, because I'm live recording it, my Xbox pad is very, very loud, so you're likely to hear a lot of stuff. The very first thing I'm doing is because I know there's a lot of people in the queue. There are a lot of tier 10s in the game. One of which is the auto-loading French artillery, which is not something I really want to be coming across. But at the same time, we get our tier 9 derpy artillery that can shoot over the top of anything. One of the things I like to do in this game, despite the fact I'm so far back, is to push forward. There are 5 mediums on their team, of which they are primarily tier 10s, a lot of armour, a lot of hull armour, the T16 and the object 40. So it's going to be a bit difficult for me to be able to go over the top of where I want to go into the middle, but I could probably go around the left. My only issue is that if I get hit by artillery, there is going to be a bit of a problem because of how much damage I can do, so I will try and avoid it as much as possible. There are a lot of people on that team going up the hill, which is ideal, and only a few into the middle. Again, you will tend to see this middle, sort of your medium side, the heavies and everything else tends to go left. All good. I'm much happier supporting the push as we go forward. I like to be aggressive. I like to make the push and carry on with the push, remove tanks as quickly as possible. Hidden Village is not the best example of situational awareness because it's such a small map. You can see everything that goes on, but the large map still is going to give me an idea of what's happening. So whilst we've seen 2 or 3 mediums down in the bottom, which is exactly what you'd assume on this map, there is still the heavies, which you would then assume, as is the case, you can see forward, they will all be coming along the top. So we've got an E5. I am zooming in at the moment because sometimes you can't physically see what tanks are showing. IS-7, Death Star and 2 E5s. So they're going to be sat behind the rock. They are trying to push forward as much as they can, but because of the mediums on our team going up as well as down the side, it allows us to get forward. It is a bit of a mare for their team because where they are, it gives it a nice easy chance to get shots on the side. My only downside is I want to make sure that I'm not going to get shot by a big dirty tank destroyer, which has just blown past me. I wasn't too fussed about being hit by the E5 there because it is, like I say, a decent chance he'd probably bounce. I probably can't get hit on that tank destroyer, and this E100 I'll try and track him if anything. So at the moment it's not really much point me staying around the side because E5's already there. They aren't really going into the middle part where you can see the big black dot in F5, so I will try and go down there and try and get side shots. What I'm trying to do is make decisions that force people to make stupid moves and moves where it puts them open. I think I've just seen artillery fire as well, so he's down in the bottom, so that's also a bit of an issue. Fortunately the E100 has come down here, so I can get nice shots onto him. Because he's moving as well, it's unlikely he'll actually try and fire at me. One of the other issues is that because he's on his own, whilst he may try and come around the corner, I do have a lot of support. It's unfortunately just around the corner though, so I may have to back up a little bit more, whilst at the same time avoiding being hit elsewhere. I can't really get shots on the E5s, which is a bit of a mare. The E100 was just fired and it looked like a white round, which suggests he's using the big derpy gun, which if he is, he's got a very long reload. That was very, very accurate, that shot then. So the I-7's pretty much waiting there. The U-100 is taking a lot of pelting from the tanks behind him. At the moment, I'm not really interested in trying to go too far forward, not least of which because of what's appeared there, the Death Star, just fired. I'm only going to be looking at either making the I-7 shoot when he shouldn't, or taking pot shots. The E5 is very, very good at taking these pot shots. I know because of the amount of health the E100 is taking, he's going to stay there. The other thing to notice is that a lot of their team have sat still. They aren't able to push forward and they're being hit on a regular basis. So let's try and... bugger. Spatial tracks on the I-7, Jesus Christ, it eats up so many rounds and it's like bouncy. Fortunately, because the I-7 is deciding to do that, he leaves it really easily to get side shots on it because there's no grass in the way. One thing I will do is make sure that he's targeted because I want to have him removed from the game. That's very, very unfortunate. What I will do is load up heat because I think in everything that's going to happen, this E100 is going to carry on trying to come around the corner. So I'm not really interested in the IS-7 who's just been beautifully hit by the artillery. I'm going to wait for him to come around the corner because I believe he will do. We are literally smashing the game. Again, because we're able to push forward into advanced positions. Oh dear my. Alright, so I'm going to have to push forward into a little bit of a gap, which is all good. Especially the fact that E100 wasn't able to aim at me. I think he aimed at someone else. I've got a heat shell loaded up so I can pretty much have him removed if I decide to aim right. That's another thing I never got. Big dirty glowing round bouncers. Funny. But yeah, so this has turned into a very easy game to win. A lot of the case has been to get into position quickly. The aggressive play is what I mean. It makes people make decisions they shouldn't be making. The E100 shouldn't have gone forward without support. The IS-7 shouldn't have gone into position whereby he's then easily hittable. Oops, hit the E50 there. So that, again, there's a lot of different points in the game into which you can see the decision made by a specific tank driver has caused the problem to be caused. Well, as I fucking mix my words up. But the problems that have been caused by their team losing the game has been because of decisions made. So the E100 moving down to where he shouldn't be moving, the IS-7 moving out into the open, other tanks, E5 unable to support them. Again, these are points in the game to which they should have been better managed by their team. Now, whilst E100 may remove me, doesn't bother me. He just got absolutely slammed. I think he got hit by a Death Star because that absolutely hammered him. I didn't get too much in terms of damage. The spotted damage, thanks to the waffle there, got me a nice chunk, and I got some damage blocks. Didn't give me top of the table, unfortunately, but it's still sort of close. So it wasn't the best example of the map to be able to show, but the whole point is that the aggressive play pushing forward and recognising what people are doing. Seeing that the E100 moved forward, I knew he didn't have support. I knew that behind me he got hit by someone else, so I didn't have to take interest in him. I could hit the IS-7. The IS-7's moving forward, there isn't anything behind him. There was a Death Star, but he's going to have a hard time hitting me because he's going to have a long aim time, to move in. The IS-7 moving down into open space. I don't have bushes, so I know exactly where it is I'm aiming. Again, not the best decision. The two E5s on top, they're going to get flanked on both sides. Again, not the best position. Our mediums went into that sort of space, and that was the best place to go. The mediums and the tank destroyer on the right side didn't have much to deal with. They were able to take out the other mediums that didn't have much armour. And finally, and foremost, the amount of people that we managed to push forward into the middle of the map was more than their team. So we could control the top of the map a lot easier. Having the fact that we can take the top, take the sides of the maps, you see how easily it is to remove the IS-7, how easily it was to remove the E5 and the E100. Just on your position on the map and figuring out where it is people are and where your team are, you can make the decision to move forward. You can make the decision to sit in a bush. You can make the decision, right, this E100 that has just got hit, I don't need to take an interest in him anymore because it's likely that he will get shot as soon as he moves forward, which means I can sit in this position whilst it exposed the E100. Yes, he can still hit me if he wants to decide to kill himself and me, but I'm then able to take out other tanks. So I'm hoping that in some short way there were some things that you could pick up from this video. I will see about making a different map as well. I am interested in making one for a larger map because you get a bigger understanding. Because the game goes on longer, you have more time to make the decision. You get more time to see if the decision works, and you can mull over what it is you're wanting to do as the battle progresses. So I will try and get that sorted, but hopefully you got something from this as well. This is the advanced side of things. I may make it an intermediate. I'll have a look at that. But this is one of the ways in which you can improve within the game itself, and hopefully you managed to gain something from it. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There will be other videos coming out with mini help guides. Like I said, we'll try and get a different map sorted as well. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and thanks for your time.